Hey guys, so I want to discuss something I've been asked about, and I think is probably the most important thing in Street Fighter Duel, which is building your team. As I said in my first video, I think Street Fighter Duel is fairly standard idle game, except for this aspect. I think it's actually fairly deep, more deep than I thought it was. Doing this well will help you progress more than anything else. I know spending money or whatever, you can power up your team, over time. But even more than that, having a solid team will help you more than anything. So this is my team, and I think the two main components, and I've kind of seen a trend on people defeating difficult stages. What are the couples that people got stuck on? Like, what was it? 540, 7-4, things like that. There's a couple speed bumps in the road of progress generally that a lot of people hit. There's some that have harder times with others, but there's a few, right? And the common theme I see to defeat these things is Elena and Mad Ryu. He's not evil Ryu. He's not evil. He's just mad. He like told the kids to pick up the toys. He came in later and stepped on a Lego. He's mad. Okay. I think that's the two main components. One, Mad Ryu hits very hard. Okay. His 3 skill hits like a truck. It hits like people's supers, right? And the main thing for Elena is just sometimes you're going to need sustain. There's like 3 main paths to defeating a stage the way I think of it. One is going to be you need to nuke a single target down. So for instance, you could do something like this, right? And by the way, this team right here, you can switch out Chun-Li and Makoto for a lot of other people, and you'll have a lot of success. And I'll go over some of those examples. But for right now, we're going to talk about the skills and the way I think of it. So if you want to nuke somebody down, starting off with Evil Ryu's heavy hit, maybe if you have somebody else that hits pretty hard, just single target things all the way up to using Evil Ryu at the end here. That will usually do pretty well. If there's a stage where you're AoEing things down, but like, man, nobody's dying, maybe try to switch up the order in which you're doing these things. Then there's also AoEing. So I do this here. I also use presets. So here's one of my presets for AoE 1. So here's an example of that. It's not too complicated. This is like AoE plus sustain, plus if I need to nuke somebody down at the end. So you start off with Makoto, and she does her jump in, and she'll normally get the first 2 characters at least, not always the back character. Then you heal for the sustain, then you have Chun-Li do her AoE, she continues, and then that stun locks them in place, and then Mad Ryu can come in and finish somebody off. So things like that, these types of formulas are going to help you a lot, because there's either going to be a big boy that you're going to need to take down really quick and kill them before they do some shenanigans on your team, or there's backline people that are, whenever you're trying to cast your spells, they're interrupting you, they're doing a buttload of damage, and you need to get at the back line. Doing stuff like this will help. Other substitutes for like some of the characters I have here are going to be like Beast Zangief, I think, is pretty strong. You can put him in place of Makoto. He has a really strong first move here, and his second move is really good. So he's a really good AoE tank. I think that's a good suggestion. Blanca. Let me see. I know I just got Blanca, so I'm interested to try him. I know a lot of people have success with Blanca. He's got a really strong 1 skill as well, and 2 is really strong too. So I think those are some of the best 2 subs for like Makoto if you don't have her. For Chun-Li, you can do like Cammy if you don't have. You can do Combat Guile. He's really strong too, because you want to do a 4-2 split because of this bonus, right? So you want to have like 4 electricity, 2 wind, for let's say. That's what I'm currently doing, and I think a lot of people do that. So, for instance, you could do Chun-Li, in there and have be Zangief. That would be your 2 wind, and you can have the rest be electricity, being Mad, Ryu, and Elena. Because really, Elena, you're going to need the most to pass certain things in a timely manner, because there's just going to be some stages you need the sustain. You're going to need the heal, you're going to need the buffs or whatever. DPS, Mad Ryu, I think, is the best at the moment. Of course, if you get M. Bison or something, by all means, put him in there. That kind of goes without saying. If you get M. Bison, Rose, or like Gen, go ahead and throw them in there. I think Jury is a little bit better with M. Bison, but I haven't tested that because I don't have her yet. But it seems like on paper. But you're going to want teams that have multiple ways to get to your combo. So, for instance, I have Makoto here. Let's say she dies because she's my tank. It's okay because I still have Elena that can do her skill 1. So I can still, if Makoto dies, she's my way of getting to the rest of the combo. I still have other ways to get there. So that's really important. So you'll have the skill 1, Makoto dies, so it's okay. We have Elena, and then skill 2, I have multiple ways of doing that with Chun-Li and Mad Ryu. And same with combo 3 with Chun-Li and Mad Ryu. So this is another good thing to think about. So you don't want only one character to have any one combo. Especially 1 or 2, right? So keep that in mind too as you're building a team. Make sure you have multiple characters that have multiple combo 1s and 2s and 3s to make sure that your chain isn't broken just because that person died. Especially if it's your tank, okay? But yeah, I think Lightning Team is honestly the way to go. I think it's the strongest. I think they have a lot of the best characters, but especially because of Elena and Mad Ryu, though. Poison is also pretty good. She's got a decent 2 and 3, so you might be able to replace Chun-Li with her. A couple other strong characters I could note from maybe Fire. If you wanted to do a Fire team, I think Hugo's a pretty good Fire tank. He's got some self-sustain there. I think Sea Viper is actually really strong. I think she's one of the strongest characters. On stage 8, for my team, she's actually pretty hard to deal with because she stays relatively safe back and she hits hard. I think she's strong if you're looking for another 2-3 character. Dalsum as well. I don't like his skill 1. I really don't. His main things is really his super and his skill 3. Other than that, not a big. I just hate the Yoga Tower. I'd rather be doing damage now or preventing damage now by him attacking, other than doing his cool leg stand thing. It's just no. But he is really good. He hits hard. Really good AOE character. Abel is a decent tank too. If you need a wind character, let's say you don't have Beast Zangief. Abel's a pretty decent tank. He can make some shields, grabs. It's not ideal, but I think that can do a lot of work for you too. Also want to note, I don't think it matters that much if your character is awakened or not. It's going to eventually, okay? But to get to the point where I'm at currently at the making of this video is 840. I didn't have these characters awakened. I just got Elena awakened today. Before that, I just had Evil Ryu at A+. My Makoto is still only at A, Chun-Li is still only at A, and I got all the way here just with this team because the team is strong. So if you get stuck, just try messing with these skills. Move them around. Sometimes the single hit on Evil Ryu kind of messes up. It doesn't do the full duration. If a character jumps forward and jumps back, I've noticed it doesn't do the full, all the hits, which is kind of annoying. So maybe it's time to switch to something different if his big heavy hit isn't worth having him in that slot. Maybe put the AoE in there. Just try messing kind of with these type of combos, switching from AoE to single target nukes to relying heavily on Elena's heals for sustain. Those are the three philosophies, and I think if you switch between those, no matter what your tank is, or your other DPS, doesn't have to be Chun-Li, I think you'll get a lot farther. A lot of other idle games, if you're stuck, you're stuck. You have to wait until you can farm enough over time to get strong enough to progress. And this one, to a point at least, you can really mess with your team and progress just from building a good team to counter whatever you're playing against. And I think that's really cool. And I've not experienced that too much in idle games. So I really appreciate that in Street Fighter Duel. And that's what, I'm playing because it's Street Fighter, but I'm continuing to play because I think the combat system is actually really cool, and it's really satisfying to hit people, and it's even more satisfying to progress after you tackle one of those speed bumps, like 7-4 or whatever, knowing that I did it with my smarts. Not really, but I put the team together to make it happen. That if I tried a different team, maybe it wouldn't have worked. But that's all I have to say. That's my tips for building a solid team and progressing into the game. I know I'm not as far as other people. I've been sick and I haven't been able to play quite as much, but hopefully, I know this stage is going to be pretty difficult. I'm thinking of maybe trying Blanca instead of Makoto. I just got Blanca right now, so I'll have to use him. But I'm looking at it, look at his moves, dude. Solid. Really good AoE. So I'm excited to use that. I think he'll be really good. And he's not squishy either. So there's that. Let me know if you have any questions or team suggestions. Whatever questions you have, leave them in the comments below. Happy to answer those for you. Good luck in your summons. And please subscribe. I'm going to be playing Street Fighter Duel for a while. I think it's really fun. I play lots of other gacha games. I even play King of Fighters All-Stars, which is a really fun beat-em-up game with the King of Fighters characters, and they have collabs all the time, including Street Fighter, which was really fun. Most recently was Soul Calibur, and I'm going to be playing lots of other gacha games, so if any of that's of interest to you, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Good luck to you guys. God bless you, and you have a blessed day, y'all.